Apocalypse.
What is going on, guys? This is your man Klever Thumbs, and I'm bringing you another Division 2 build video. Now, how would you guys feel if I told you that you can get to nearly 100,000 armor per second? That is right, 100,000 armor regeneration per second. I don't quite frankly have that here, but do have pretty close to it. 73,000 armor repair. That is without the fixer drone. If you guys do like what you hear, definitely gonna want to stick around because this is the Royals Guard build. I have not seen anybody talking about these two particular pieces that I'm running and the way that my build is synergized. There is nothing on here that does not make any sense. Everything is played so beautifully. You guys can see in the video, status effects are not a problem. Now, this build is definitely one of the builds that I use when I go solo. Solo farming, solo rogue, solo dark zone, solo control points, whatever the case may be. This is definitely really good with the team as well. And this build does put out a lot of damage with absolutely zero reds. That's 40% multiplicative damage with 0 reds. And my armor repair only has 1 yellow. Definitely like what you hear. Stick around and enjoy. What is going on, guys? This is your man Klever Thumbs, and I'm bringing you another Division 2 build video. Now I'm going to be talking about two things that nobody else has been talking about. I have not seen anybody post anything about this. Definitely going to show you the best armor regeneration build. That is right. I use this for going solo in the dark zone. I do this doing solo activities in the open world. Man, I even do solo missions with this. Definitely like what you hear. Definitely hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. And definitely turn on that notification bell because I do happen to do pretty frequent streams. And that way you guys can see when these build videos come out. But enough about that. Let's jump right into the build. So this is my Royals Guard build. Now I'm going to tell you the two major things that no one is talking about. The Emelines Guard with perfect preservation. And the Emperor's Guard. Now I'm going to tell you exactly why this is the best armor regeneration build. Let's jump right into it. Let's start off with the gun, the Emelines Guard. Now I do have this one rolled with 10% SMG damage, 14% critical hit chance, and 10% damage to targets out of cover, which I did happen to recalibrate on there. The talents are perfect preservation. If you guys don't know what this is, killing an enemy repairs 12% armor over 5 seconds. Now headshot kills improve the repair by an additional 12%. That is 24% armor repair just for killing with a headshot with this gun. Keep that in mind. For the secondary gun, we are using the Eagle Bear, which has 14% assault rifle damage, 8% health damage, and 9% headshot damage. Everybody's familiar with the Eagle Bear. They did change it up a little bit. I'll go real briefly right through it. Accuracy increases continuously as you continuously fire up to 30%. So you get 30% accuracy, and then headshot kills grant the tenacity buff for 15 seconds, and that is the strength of tenacity is increased by 1% for body shots and 5% for headshots. And the tenacity is 40 to 80% of damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. Also, all of the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy killed while the buff is active, up to 100% with 3 kills. So, once you get the tenacity buff, pretty much get 3 kills and you lose that that chance of being damage at the end of the talent. So, not gonna go too much over it. Eagle Bear is a good gun, and for my sidearm, I am using Reformation. Headshots grant 30% skill repair for 8 seconds. For the specialization, you guys use whatever you want. I am using the gunner specialization, which does give me armor on kill which is really helpful for this build. I also have unlimited ammo at all times. I never ever run out of bullets. Also, there are many other things. Originally, I wanted to use a Night Watcher with this build. This was supposed to be a spotter and Night Watcher with the Banshee pulse until I found out that the Night Watcher does not work with Banshee pulse. So, definitely bummed out about that, but this build definitely still wrecks everything with 0 reds. Let's jump right into it. Now for the mask, we are using the Night Watcher, which I have been talking about. It's got 100,000 armor on it, 100% pulse haste, and max armor regeneration. Now, you do want to stack as much armor regeneration. I'll tell you guys the 3 pieces that I'm using are the 3-piece Gila, which is 5% total armor, 10% health, and 1% armor regeneration. I also am running 2-piece Golan, which gives me status effect and armor regeneration, and 1-piece Emelines Guard, which gives me armor regeneration and skill duration. Let's move on to the chest piece, which is the second piece of Gila. I do have 103,000 armor, 9.2 skill haste. I would like to have repair skills on there, and 4,444 per second. And then I also have a 17.1% incoming repair. Now for the talents, this is where the damage comes into play. Spotter amplifies total weapon and skill damage by 15% to pulse enemies. So as long as I'm pulsing, I am always doing 15% multiplicative damage. That is huge. It's better than additive damage. Let's move on to the holster, which is the first piece of the Golem. Now it does have 170,000 armor, 6.8 status effects, which I would like to have repair skills on there, and I do have, excuse me, I do have almost 5,000 armor regen, which is the max. Let's move on to the knee pads. The Emperor's Guard. Now this is, I would like this to have come like this, and possibly me roll either for the core attribute weapon damage, or, excuse me, possibly more armor. You know, more armor, the better. For this build, at least, for survivability. So, I do have +1 skill tier, 1% armor regeneration, and 4,925 armor regeneration per second, which is huge. Notice that I am stacking everything into armor regen. Now, for the gloves, I am using the Golden gloves, which does have 170,000 armor, which I did recalibrate on there, and the attributes are 3,732 armor regeneration per second, which is not too bad. And then it does come with 10% hazard protection, which I have. Now for the final piece of the Gila, this is where more damage comes into play. I do have 117,000 armor, 10.5 skill haste, and max armor regeneration. Now originally I went skill haste on everything. If you guys haven't noticed, that's because I did want to use the Banshee Gunner Pulse, which I do have it down to about 13-14 seconds, I believe, with all the skill haste. But if I could have done it differently, definitely repair skills. Do have 16.5 incoming repairs. Now for the Talon on the backpack, it is versatile. Amplifies total weapon damage for 10 seconds when swapping between your primary and secondary weapons if they are different. If you guys did notice, I do carry SMG and assault rifle. Now, so when I switch to my SMG, I get 35% amplified damage to enemies within 15 meters, and that is for shotguns and SMGs. 35% for rifles and marksman rifles further than 25 meters, and 10% to enemies between 15 to 25 meters for LMGs and assault rifles. So I am getting 10% plus the spotter, which is 15%. So that's an extra 25% for my assault rifle multiplicative, and then I do have 40% for the SMGs. That's a lot. 40% is huge for not having any reds. Now I'm gonna go down to the skills. I am using the Fixer drone. It's only got you know, skill tier 1, which is 20% armor repair and 70,000 health. I did happen to throw a mod on there. Well, I don't have it on right now, but it's only going to bring me up to 12,000, which is really good for just having it there. It lasts a long time, and you're always getting armor regen. Even when you're running away, this thing will eventually catch up to you and heal you, on top of your armor regeneration that you already have. Now for the pulse, the duration is almost 12 seconds. Let's just go ahead and say it's 12 seconds for duration, and it does come back every 8.4 seconds. So if you guys don't understand what I'm saying, I always have spotter active. Always, always, always. Always multiplicative damage. Always regenerating armor. Always surviving. This is the best survivability armor regeneration build. I'm telling you guys, the damage is there. You guys can switch it. You can put Unbreakable on it if you want. You could probably put a third piece Golan just for the 5% total armor, which I did happen to try. I do go up to 1.7, but the numbers are way better where I have it right now. Let's go into the stats so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Now I only have 25% critical hit chance on my Emelines Guard and 37.8 critical hit damage, which is, you know, not too shabby. If you guys do see in the gameplay, when I am fighting the NPCs and PvP players, there are critical hits that do pop up right on the right hand side of my gun. Let's go down to the goodies, because I know this is where you guys really want to see all the goodies. So I do have 150,000 armor on kill, which 150,000 is actually not that much. It really is not that much. But the way I have this build synergized definitely helps. Definitely always have this armor regeneration. I'm trying to tell you guys, this build is amazing. Nobody's talking about this right here. If you guys do see, my armor regeneration is 72,778. That is right, 72,000 armor regeneration per second. I'm gonna let you guys sit there and think about that. That is a lot of armor regen. Now mind you, 72,000. Okay, so the way Emelines Guard works, Emelines Guard, you down the player. For PvP, you down him and he's down on the floor bleeding out. It gives you the Emelines Guard. When I go over there and finish him while he's bleeding on the floor, that is what is gonna proc my armor on kill. So I'm getting 24% armor regeneration on top of 72,000 per second, on top of 150,000 for my kill. This build is amazing, man. I don't know if I can make this any better. I think I actually did hit 80k at one point, but I tweaked the build out a little bit. This thing, man, I have 10% hazard, bleed, blind. This thing will out heal most of that stuff. If you guys haven't paid attention to the video, I am status effect here and there. I am healing through all that. If I'm running my glass cannon build, that little bit of fire that that thing will shred me if I don't pop a medkit. This thing is healing me through the fire, through the bleeding. I can see players when I'm blind. Like, come on, man. This is the build right here. The Royals Guard build. So if you guys do like what you see, definitely stick around. I do have some gameplay, some PvP footage, so you guys can see this live in action. Me healing through the status effects. I also will put me doing a control point and just healing through everything. Killing and healing. As long as you're killing, it's a bonus. You're gonna heal. Definitely love this build. One of my favorite builds to run. If you guys do like what you see, definitely like the channel, comment down below, and hit the subscribe button. This is your man Klever Thumbs, and I'm signing out.
Now greetings to the world. Vice of the one big gang still alongside Skrillex.
Yeah, you can't hang out, bro.
Ooh-wee!
There's two more.
We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. How we ablaze the fire, make it fun them. We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make some sound, boy run. And we will end your week just like a Sunday. We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Skrillex ablaze the fire, make it fun them. We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make some sound, boy run. And we will end your week just like a Sunday.
The floor, dude. have to kill all of us, though. Hey, your feet are stuck, bro.
Turn up the bass and make them all have fun. And we ablaze the fire, make it fun them. We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make some sound, boy run. And we will end your week just like a Sunday. We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Skrillex ablaze the fire, make it fun them. We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make some sound, boy run. And we will end your week just like a Sunday.
Can we please fix this damn game? Beautiful. Beautiful.